Alright, so these are the books that were sent with the blind date with the book. The first one is called The Singles Table. Here's the blurb, you can pause and read it if you'd like. And the second one is called Meant to Be Mine. And here's the blurb if you'd like. Super happy with what I got. There's like a yellow theme going on, which I love, and I actually have not heard of either of these books, so I'm very excited to read them. Okay folks, let's have a chat about This Woven Kingdom. As we all know, I've had some controversial opinions about this book in the past. One of the first videos I ever made that got like some serious traction was a video in which I criticized this book for lack of dialogue, too much world building, and just overall lack of pacing. However, I did go ahead and finish this book and found that the last 100 pages or so were really entertaining. I know that Tahira Mafi is not an author that normally lets me down, so I figured that this book was all just a setup for book 2 and that when book 2 came out, it was going to be awesome. You know, every book needs to have the introduction, the world building, and things like that, and I figured that maybe she just went a little heavy so that we could fully comprehend book 2. So, say hello to book 2. I'm gonna see if I was right about this. Also, cover? Fucking gorgeous. Anyways, let's hope for the best. Yay!
People are simply better than others.
You really think you're that much better than me?
Oh, I think we both know the answer to that.
I had a little cry earlier, and I had a big cry last night.
Yeah?
But I'm not crying now.
You're not?
And I think for that,
Yeah?
I'm doing so well.
Can I give you a big hug?
No.
Man right here spent all of his savings to buy the biggest ring he could find for his fake fiance. Fake fiance. Ladies, we need to fucking raise our standards out here. You know the book is gonna be fucking good when he says, once you've been sent on your way with a shiny new reputation, it'll just be me and my tea. I'll never fall in love. Won't let myself. And that's on page 93, so you know that for the next 400 pages, I'll just be patiently waiting.
I tried to pay, he begged me to stay. Babe, I'm not staying, I just wanna play. In the party, he just wanna romp. Big boobs in the bus, they talk. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her baddie friend.
I just finished Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. The roller coaster of emotions I was sent in the last 30 pages, abso-fucking-lutely illegal. I don't fully even know how to process this. I was laughing so much at the end of this book until I fucking wasn't. When I'm telling you the last fucking chapter killed me, I mean it. I mean, look at me. I don't even know how to... I don't even know how to make words right now, quite frankly. And when people like I did at the beginning ask why this book was 600 pages, they should be asking why this book is not 1,000 pages instead. 600 pages is not enough. I cannot be happier that there is 600 more, and I don't think I will be sleeping for a foreseeable future. Thank you. Because this not only mentally hurt me right now, but also a little bit physically.
Talk about all of the books that I read in October. There are 11 of them, and out of the 11, 5 of them were 5 stars, which is crazy. So let's dive right in. As always, I recommend following me on Instagram and Goodreads. That's where I post what I'm currently reading in real time. And if you want to shop any of these, they are all linked on my Amazon storefront, but I always recommend checking your local bookstore first. I started October with a bang by reading Fourth Wing, and I'm honestly kind of glad that I waited this long to read it because now I don't have to wait that long for the second one to come out on November 7th. I'm personally kind of newer to the fantasy world, and I feel like this is a really great place to start if you are as well, because there isn't a ton of world building, but the chapters are jam-packed with so much action. Definitely worth the hype. It kept me intrigued the entire time. 5 out of 5. After that, I kind of switched up genres and picked up Educated by Tara Westover. This book is a memoir and it is freaking insane. It is probably the most insane book I've ever read in my life, because the entire time reading it, I had to keep reminding myself that everything I was reading actually happened in this woman's life. Different than what I normally read, but I really enjoyed it. Again, another 5 out of 5. After that, I tried to read The City Baker's Guide to Country Living. I made it 13 pages and I did not finish. The amount of of times that the author had the main character reference other people's weight was so weird. She would say things like her slender legs or my size 16 jeans, but like so many times, a bunch of you said that it wasn't even good when you did finish it, so yeah, bye. But no worries, we had another 5-star read after that when I picked up The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This book is so great. I listened to it on audiobook for probably about 70% of it, and I highly recommend the audiobook. Imagine House in the Cerulean Sea, but make it kind of witchy. It's a great cozy book, found family. There's a little bit of romance that goes on in here, and a really cute dog and adorable children. It was great. Sticking with the fall theme, I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Emphasis on the spice, because for how cute this book looks, there's a decent amount of spice in here. This is literally Gilmore Girls in a book. If you're looking for a cozy fall steamy romance, there's not a ton of spice, but like there is a decent amount. Highly recommend this. I gave it a 3.75. A 4 felt too high, but a 3.5 felt too low, so we're settling in the middle. After all the cozy vibes, I needed a thriller, so I picked up The Chain at my local bookstore, and I actually really enjoyed this. Imagine you drop your child at the bus stop. The next thing you know, you get a phone call and that your child has been kidnapped, and in order for your child to live, you now have to go and kidnap a different child. Didn't love the ending, so I gave it a solid 4 out of 5. And I read The Golden Spoon. It's literally the Great British Bake Off, but add a little bit of drama and some murder mystery. It's well under 300 pages. I flew through it in a day. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, but it's one of those books that like if you're interested in it, I would recommend it, but if it's not really your vibe, then you can skip it and you won't really feel like you missed out on anything. Then we have an audiobook, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I literally finished this minutes before I started filming this video. Thank you to every single one of you who told me to read this book because I devoured it. I loved it. I want to talk about this book without giving too much away. It's about a guy who needs to save Earth. While he's out in space, he meets somebody, and I feel like the audiobook version of the person that he meets makes him so adorable, so lovable. The ending of this book was fantastic. This book as a whole had me laughing, had me crying, had me tearing up, had me smiling. I highly recommend, specifically on audiobook. And last but not least, I read the Windy City series by Liz Tom Ford. Overall, I really enjoyed this series, but we'll go through a book by book. The first book is Mile High, and I really did not like this book, almost so much that I didn't even keep going with this series, but I gave this one a 2.5 out of 5, and the longer I sit on it, I think I'm gonna bump it down to a 2. I would definitely skip it. I just don't think it's necessary. Second book in the series is The Right Move. I love this one. I love Ryan and Indy. I gave this one a solid 4 out of 5. The last book in the series is called Caught Up, and it just came out a few days ago actually, but Kai and Miller and Max are my new favorites. I gave this one an immediate 5 out of 5. Any romance book that can evoke any emotion out of me, whether it's laughter, tears, deserves a 5 out of 5, and this book did every single one of those, and I loved it. I devoured it. Lots of spice, all the things. It was so good. As always, please feel free to let me know what your favorite book of October was, and I will see you next month. Let's do the 10 by the end trend, basically 10 books that I want to read before the end of the year. As always, feel free to follow me on Instagram and Goodreads. That's where I post what I'm currently reading in real time. They're always linked in my bio. And if you want to shop any of these, I highly recommend checking your local bookstore first, but they all will be linked on my Amazon storefront. First up on the top of my list, this isn't even like a want to read. This is like a will read, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, the second book after Fourth Wing. I will immediately dive into this on Tuesday when I have it physically in my hands. I really just can't wrap my brain around the fact that as soon as we all finish this book, we're going to have to wait an entire year for another one. Next up, we have Tom Lake. This is a book that I have seen, 1, everywhere, but 2, a ton of mixed reviews about it. I definitely want to make my own opinion on it though, and the cover is giving major cozy vibes, which is perfect for the fall and winter. Another book with major mixed reviews, Bunny by Mona Odd. A bunch of you have told me that you read this, and it's basically just a major question mark the entire way through. I know absolutely nothing about it, but a book that has me very intrigued. Counting these 3 next ones as one because they are a series, but it is the Winter in Paradise series by Ellen Hildebrand. Her books are my go-to in the summertime when I need a summery beach read, but I'm so glad that she has this series. She also has another winter series for when I need some summer vibes during the winter. I love Lisa Jewell and I love her writing. I feel like I haven't read one of her books in a while, so The Night She Disappeared is also on my list to read by the end of the year. I listened to a sample of this on Audible the other day because I wanted to see if I wanted to use a credit on it, and it seemed super interesting. I read Educated this past month and I was obsessed with it. It is an amazing memoir that I recommend to everybody, and I really want to read another memoir. I want to get into reading more memoirs, and Crying in H Mart is highly, highly, highly recommended. The next one is a book that I don't see many people talk about, but it has amazing reviews. It's called The Matchmaker's Gift. I don't know anything about it. Again, I blindly buy books because that's just what I do, but I'm excited about it. I love World War II historical fiction books. The Nightingale is my favorite book of all time. I am kind of newer to the genre. I've probably only read about 5 or 6 books in the genre, but every time I talk about it, I get recommendations to read The Storyteller by Jodi Picoult, It's on my list. Every time I go in to look at my TBR list, I always reach for it. I'm just waiting for the right time. I'm a mood reader, so I have to be in the mood for something like this. Last but not least, we have 2 Christmas books. First is Bright Lights, Big Christmas by Mary Kay Andrews. Seems like it's going to be a super quick read. It's under 300 pages, just all around good vibes, Christmas vibes. We love it. Definitely, last but not least, we have The Book Club Hotel. This seems like a Hallmark movie in a book. It literally takes place at a hotel called the Maple Sugar Inn, okay? A group of friends go to a hotel to do like a book club vacation. I don't know, it seems super cute. I'm just excited to read it. Feel free to comment a book that you really want to read before the end of the year, and comment any BookTok trend videos that you want to see me do. I'm always looking for some more inspo.
We have a problem. This is my Throne of Glass series, and I need someone to convince me to continue reading this. Because ACOTAR is my favorite book ever, and a lot of people say that Throne of Glass series are like even better than ACOTAR, but I don't fucking see it. And before you even come at me, I gave it a really fair try. I read the first 4 books, and I read The Assassin's Blade like as a 3rd or 4th book. And another thing that scares me is that the last 2 books, Kingdom of Asha, Tower of Dawn, people read it as a tandem read, and that's just terrifying. These are 2 thick books. Like, who has time for that? So the next book in the series that I should be reading is Queen of Shadows, but I stopped right before it. Also, a lot of people were saying that there was like romance here. Fucking 4 books in, not even a damn kiss, I don't think. So what do? Do I just like leave it unfinished?
I saw this community library thingy in my friend's neighborhood, so of course I had to go to Target and get some books. I was having a hard time trying to pick out which ones, but I picked out Archer's Voice and the Inheritance Games. I broke the bank. I also saw the Born to Die album, which, oh, see, I had to get it. I walked over to the mini library and put them in Let's Hope Someone Enjoys Them as much as I did.
Addicted / Callaway series order. Let's go. Listen up, kids. This right here is the reading order from bottom to the top, so take a screenshot before I explain everything to you. Hurry up. For those of you that are new to the Addicted / Callaway series, first of all, I'm jealous that you're able to read this for the first time. You're gonna start off with the Addicted series that follow Lilo, aka Lily and Lauren. You're gonna read Addicted to You, then Ricochet, and Addicted for Now. Then you're gonna take a break, and you're gonna read the spin-off, which is the Callaway sisters, which is obviously Lily's sisters. You're gonna read Kiss the Sky first, which it follows Rose and Connor, and then you're gonna read Hot House Flower, which follows Daisy and Reich. Then you're like, okay, I miss Lily and Lauren. Then you're gonna read Thrive, which follows the same plot as in these 2 books, but from Lily and Lauren's point of view. So this book is gonna be the same as like a recap of these 2, but from their point of view. Then you're gonna finish Lily and Lauren's story in Addicted After All. We're gonna move on to finishing Rose and Connor's story in Fuel the Fire, and Reich and Daisy in Long Way Down. Then you're gonna finish it off with the epilogue novel, Some Kind of Perfect, which is told from every single person's point of view, and it's pretty much like an epilogue, and it follows like over a 10-year span. You're fucking welcome. When you guys told me that this whole book was filled with smut, I don't think I quite frankly believed you. But let me fucking tell you one thing. Court of the Vampire Queen is filled with smut. I am currently on page 164, and I'm pretty sure 160 of these pages were filled with smut. Chapter 1 is where it starts. I've never read a book where they got down to business in chapter 1 before. And it literally keeps going. Also, nobody told me that it was a 3-on-1 situation. 3 guys, 1 girl. What the fuck? I also heard that there's like no plot in this book, but so far there is plot behind the smut, but it did get kind of a little bit fucking weird where it's like about vampires, so slay already, but it got a little bit weird where like one of the guys like juices, if you know what I mean, was like magical, and I could not read that without fucking cringing. I honestly hope you don't even know what I mean, because it's just fucking cringe all around. But besides that, I am thoroughly enjoying this book. Thank you very much. Good morning, my little readers. Oh, we're currently reading Court of the Vampire Queen, and let me fucking tell you, this goddamn book, I honestly feel like people on Goodreads are just like unhappy with their lives because this has a pretty low rating on Goodreads, and I don't know why. I think people on Goodreads just do not like anything at all. Because I am like 2/3 done with this book, and now I feel like I could form a full-on opinion about it. And let me fucking tell you, this has smut and this has plot. Whoever said that this doesn't have a plot doesn't know what plot means, because this has fucking plot. And I am interested in the plot that it has. And the amount of spice this book has will have you fucking shaking. Once again, still, every single chapter is filled with some kind of spice in there, and personally, I am loving it. There's never too much spice. And I must know how this ends tonight.
Miss for $1, who seems like a terrible person.
Oh my god, I can't say the first person that came to mind.
No, say it.
I guess no, I can't say it.
Say it!
No, I'd be honest.
Say it! The answer is Leah Remini!
Oh, Johnny. What are you doing to me? We are currently reading Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. And by currently reading, I meant I pretty much devoured most of this book in one sitting. I don't even know where to start with this book because I feel betrayed by myself and everybody else that this book did not make it on my radar a long fucking time ago. Johnny is hands down the best book boyfriend to ever exist. Fight me. And the fact that this is touch her and I'll kill you vibes makes it 1,000 times better. He is literally the most confident dude like ever, but when it comes to her, he does not fucking know how to act. He has no idea what to do with himself. He literally said, "Give me a name, I'll take care of it." That's all you need to know. But then later in the book, he said, "You're getting soaked out here." And then Shannon said, "But you won't have a jacket." And then he said, "But you will." Are you kidding me? I am on page 485, and I have never in my life rooted for a couple more than I'm rooting for them right now. They haven't even really kissed, and I have gotten to the point where he honestly just talks to her and I already get butterflies in my stomach. I am so fucking invested that I quite frankly don't even know how to exist. This fucking series is gonna be the death of me. I am looking at the rest of the books because I already know I will not sleep and eat until the full series is done.